What's going on, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. So today for me is a day to celebrate. Number one, Eric Jones is on the pole tonight for the first time ever in his Cup career, so I'm very excited for tonight's race. That is a reason to celebrate. Starting first, hopefully ending first, and getting into the NASCAR playoffs. Number two, my wife this morning took a certification test to become a teacher and passed. That is awesome. She's been working really hard at that, so congratulations, Michelle. I love you, and thank you for all your support that you give me with the channel and letting me buy all this fun stuff. And number three, today is the 3-month anniversary since I bought this truck from Frank Ford and Galt Toyota. So today, we're gonna go over little impressions, some likes, some dislikes, some surprises, stuff like that, all about the Platinum here that I have come across in the first 3 months of ownership. So what I'm going to do in the first part of this video is I'm kind of going to go over the stuff that the Platinum trim offers and what I think about that stuff. And at the end of the video, I'll go over some of the things that I've added to the truck to let you know if I like or dislike them. But this is more right now in this part of the video for the people that are considering a Platinum trim level Tundra as your next vehicle. Some of the things I really like about the truck, I really like that it has the digital climate control where you can put the temperature you want. That whole setup down there is awesome, way better than the manual one that's in a lot of the trim levels, the SR5, the TRD Pro. I believe Limited and Up offer this digital setup, and I like it a lot more. You could hit the auto button and it'll take it to the temperature that you want it to take. It's also dual climate control, so it can be separate from your passenger, which is very, very good for me because my wife gets cold in 90 degrees. So she could go over there and put on the heater and pretend it's Christmas while I'm over here putting it down to 70 degrees, you know, living in the summer. But that is a great thing, probably one of my very, very, very favorite things of this truck so far. Another great thing, and this is for all of you CrewMax guys out there, you know I'm coming from a double cab. I love that back window that goes all the way down. I love the fact that they put a defroster on that window as well. That is huge. I have that window down all the time. Even when it's hot out sometimes, I'll just have it down. That mixed with the moonroof is awesome. Big fan of that window. If I knew about that window, I knew about that window, but if I knew how awesome that window was, I would have had a CrewMax a long time ago. Another great feature in this truck, for me, pretty much the main reason I went up to the Platinum trim level, the sunroof. Use it all the time, even when it's too hot to use it. I'll still pop it open like this just to let the sun in a little bit. It gives it a whole different dynamic on the cab. It's more lit in here instead of, you know, it being dark all the time, which either way is fine, depends on how you like it. There are definitely times I ride with the shade closed as well. I love the blind spot monitoring. That is awesome, and just it really helps. I mean, the truck's pretty tall. You have a good view of everything. Like I always say, it's like a big fishbowl, but there's nothing wrong with a little extra help. And blind spot monitoring is awesome. You know, you also have the cross traffic, so when you're backing out, if something's about to happen, the lights will flash if something's coming across behind you. It's really just a really solid truck. The trim level is great. Okay, so this is like a pro and a con, kind of. The pro is any Tundra you get into, you're going to get the same truck pretty much, and then the features are going to make the difference in what trim level you're in. That's a pro in the way of it's just everything is high quality no matter where you are in the trim range. A con could be when you come up into this higher level truck, you expect some pretty big differences, I guess. But for me, I'm good. I really like the diamond stitch. This is the stuff that separates the higher trim from the lower trim. You get these seats. These are totally Lexus grade leather seats. They're awesome, heated and cooled. You know, I haven't used the heated yet, but I've used the cool. In fact, the cooled seats are on right now. They work really good. Also with the Platinum, I love the fact that I could come up into a luxury trim level and not have to deal with too much chrome. Sure, there's chrome on it, which we actually took off most of it by this point, but there's not a crazy amount of chrome. Like the 1794 has a lot of chrome. So this at least has the body colored bumpers. You got the chrome handles, chrome mirror covers, but not really that big of a deal. Already took care of most of all of that. So that's a lot of the things I like in the truck. I know I'm missing stuff. I don't really fold the mirrors in a lot, I'll be honest with you. So, I mean, I folded them in maybe twice at work because of construction, but I guess it's a good feature to have, so we'll give it a thumbs up there. Oh, I know one I like. It has that light up ring around the keys so you can find the keyhole in the dark. I love that feature. That should be on all trim levels. That is very, very awesome. That's also on the FRS, so they should be putting it down low in the SR5 too. I like that it's auto dimming mirror, but it's also auto dimming side view mirrors. That's awesome. I like that it has the blinkers on the mirrors. JBL sound system, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. I think it bumps just fine. But some people don't like it for some reason. So let me know if you are already an owner of a JBL sound system Tundra, what you think about that. I think there's three things that I'm not going to say I dislike. I'm going to say need some attention. The number one thing is the backup sensor, the alarm. It's just not loud enough. I can't seem to figure out how to turn it up. And a lot of viewers said, you know, I have a truck with no alarm. I never needed an alarm. It's not the fact of needing the alarm. It's the fact of if you have it, I want it to work properly. So if you turn the music all the way down, it beeps. When you get closer to an object, it beeps louder, and that's fine. Or not louder, it beeps more frequently. But if you have the music up even a little, you can barely hear it. So that's something that I'm not a huge fan of. I'm a little disappointed in that. I guess it depends because you got the backup camera, so you're looking at that, and you're also seeing the center screen that will tell you, it'll show you the little truck with how close you are to the item or the object you're coming up to. The second thing, I feel this is kind of the mix between 2 and 3. I feel like maybe it's because it's a Crew Max. Now, mind you, I've been in a double cab 4 times before this, but the cab just makes the truck feel heavier. Makes the truck feel top heavy, and it makes the engine feel like it's pulling something way heavier sometimes. I don't know if it's just me, or maybe because, well, I really don't know. But that's kind of the thing I'm going with. It just feels like a heavier truck. The double cab feels a little, not quicker, but just more springy, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying with that. But yeah, it feels a little top heavy, and it just overall, the truck feels a little bit heavier than the double cab ever did. We could also be blaming the wheels, we could also be blaming the tires, not the wheels and tires. We're blaming the tires for that as well, because the tires on the TRD Pro double cab were a lot more roadworthy, if you will. But that's pretty much what I really like about the Platinum trim level. I love the huge back seat back there, but that's any Tundra Crew Max. I mean, overall, it's happiness with the whole truck. You know, no regrets whatsoever. But let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff I added and what I think about that. So we've added quite a bit of parts so far in these 3 months. It's been a fun 3 months with the truck because we're building it quick, but we're not building it too quick, like all in one shot. The TRD Pro suspension, there's lovers and haters of it, okay? Personally, I love it. I think it is very compliant, kind of in all forms of road travel and off-road. A little bumpy on some of the slower travel, so when you're on local roads and things like that, you feel quite a bit of the bumps. On highway, it's very, very, very compliant on the highway, and I'm impressed by that. So I'm a big fan of the TRD Pro suspension. If you're in the market for a suspension for your truck, there are plenty of brands out there, plenty of great options out there, but make sure you give the TRD Pro suspension a look. TRD Pro skid plate, you know, I went off-road once, but the skid plate's cool. There's really no other reason I got it. I really like the skid plate. It's always good to have extra protection up front. I've actually had to use my skid plate a couple times on other Tundras, so the better skid plate up front, for me, it's better to be prepared than unprepared, right? No matter what comes. TRD intake, always a fan. I love it. I love the look of it. I love the simplicity of install, how easy it is to change the filter, all that stuff. There's plenty of good intakes out there, but make sure you give a look at the TRD intake. Let's see what else. Probably the dual exhaust came on the truck. It was an added option at the factory, but the dual exhaust is fantastic. I don't know if you guys are in the market, or if you are in the market for a TRD, or excuse me, a dual exhaust, definitely check this one out. But I will say this, there are a lot of great options out there. There's some with a lot more sound. There's some that are even quieter than this. So make sure you check everything before you make a purchase. You can actually go on websites and hear the truck revving to tell you, or to show you how loud it is. So that's a good one. My wheel and tire choice couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. It is the perfect blend between fun and adult responsible. We'll put it that way. The tires are 275/70 R18, I believe they are, which measures out to just over 33 inches. They're about 10.5 inches wide. So you get a little bit of the offset showing. You get a little bit of the wheel does that, of course, but you get a little bit of the tire showing. It's not too much where it's sticking out too far. It's just enough to look good but still be practical. Big fan of the tires, so make sure you check out the BFG all-terrain KO2s. The wheels are the Ultra Motorsports Phantoms, picked out by my wife. Thank you, Michelle. Congratulations again. But is that everything I added on the truck so far? I mean, I did the handles and the mirror covers from Sparks Parts, blacked those out. We did the black badging. We did the overlays in the back, Sparks Parts, blacked those out. All good things. No regrets on any of that. We have the Husky floor liners, which are awesome if you're in the market for floor liners. I'm not kidding. Check them out. Xtang Trifecta 2.0 cover is awesome. I'm considering lately, especially before the winter comes, I'm thinking about going on to a hard top liner. Bed liner, not bed liner, tonneau cover. I can't speak today. There is an Xtang hard trifold that I might look at, but if you guys have any suggestions with that, let me know. I think that's everything I've added so far. I have the TRD Pro shifter here. Yeah, all good. So let's just recap the first 3 months now. So that was pretty much an overrun of how I felt about all the parts I put on it, how I felt about some of the stuff that came with it. Overall, I'm extremely happy with the truck. I'm glad we did it. It was good for the channel. It was good to get up in a Tundra like this after 4 Tundras that were fairly the same. The first one was a 4.7 liter SR5, which was available from 07 to 09, I believe. That was a 2007. The second one was a 2009 SR5 TRD. The third one was a 2014 SR5 TRD. The fourth one was a TRD Pro, which is pretty much an SR5 with a suspension and some cool graphics and stuff. So it was time. This is the 5th Tundra. It was time. People ask me sometimes, why did you trade out of something so rare into something like this where it's more common and, you know, you have to build to make it what you had? You got to understand 2 things about that. Number one, the Platinum is actually a pretty rare truck. It's not as rare as the TRD Pro, but it's not one you see every day. But number 2, for me, this was more of a purchase for the channel and me. I wanted to get up into something a little bit different, like I said, and I wanted to try something with a lot of everything, like pretty much one of the best Tundras you can get, so I could sit here and review and tell you, the viewer, is it worth coming up from an SR5 into this? Or are there things in this truck I didn't need? So it's a lot more than meets the eye to the average viewer. There are a lot of you that have followed me a long time on this channel. It's over a year old now. You guys have been here from the beginning. You know my mindset. But people who pop on and don't see these videos every day think I traded in a TRD Pro for a Platinum and then I'm trying to make it a Platinum. No. I'm doing this to show you guys, here's the parts that are worth it. Here's the stuff in the truck that make it worth the money. Not worth the money. I do everything in this channel for you guys. That is the whole point of this channel. So I'm not trying to mimic a Pro. I'm trying to show you what it would look like if the TRD Pro had more options, which is kind of what I'm doing now. Even though we did just buy a Magnuson supercharger, which will take this thing to the next level, and it will no longer be anything like the TRD Pro. And that's why we call it the Platinum Pro. But overall, the first 3 months I have absolutely no regrets. It's been a lot of fun. It's moving fast. Fast in a good way, but sometimes I have to stop and just look at the truck and be like, wow, 3 months, not even. It already has the wheels and tires, the suspension, the dual exhaust. It's gonna have the Magnuson supercharger, which I've been going after for 10 years. It has everything in it that I could ever want. I made some great partners along the way in these first 3 months, and of course before when we had the Pro. The truck has just about 2,000 miles on it. All is well, no problems, no issues. We had that one video where the truck was starting, it was cranking a little long. I think I fixed that. No big deal with that one. Just kind of tightened everything up, and it hasn't happened since. A lot of people said it had to do with the humidity. Could have been, but it hasn't done it since I've tightened everything up, so we're going to call that the fix. But overall, totally happy with the truck. The wife is happier with the back seat being larger for future babies. She's happier with the cooled and heated seat. She's a big fan of that, and she feels these seats are way more comfortable than what we used to have. So overall, 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. Of course, there are some needs attention stuff in the truck, which we talked about, but the pros far outweigh the cons in my opinion, and I look forward to giving you the next update, which will be 6 months. Now from 3 to 6 months may be a crazy update because we'll have the Magnuson supercharger, so the whole dynamic of the truck could change. But as always, I thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the Platinum trim level or the Platinum Pro that I am building here, please let me know below the video, or you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, TundraDude34. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and you guys have a great Saturday.